Let's look at the MailMerge functionality in Office 2007. MailMerge is used if you'd like to send out a set of individual emails or a set of individual letters to specific people, but you'd like to have some commonality in the message going out. So you might have a template that you want to send generally this set of information, but then you want to actually personalize some pieces of information. Today we're going to look at doing a mail merge via email. And so to do that, we have a few setup steps. So the first thing is you want to make sure in your Outlook that your Outlook is actually set down here to work offline. So if I pull this up, you can see I'm set here to work offline. That's fairly critical because when we actually send these email messages, they're actually going to send to your outbox. So we'd rather have them sit in the outbox so we can look at them before we actually send them out so that we know what communication is going out in email. The second thing that I've set up is this is just an example template in Excel. It's a little table, and the only thing that is important here, we need for each of the columns to have titles. So here we see the different titles, such as contact name, contact email. And then these are examples of two people that I met at a career fair. So here we have Martin from Microsoft, and here's his email, and his title, here's the job we discussed, and some of the skills relating to that job. So you could list all sorts of people here. I just have two for this example. Next we'll look over in Word. And in Word I've created a general template for the email that I'd like to send out. So what we want to do now is actually go through and replace some of the personalized information with the information from the template. So here I'm going to replace things like the contact, the company, the position, and then I'm going to list some skills down here that I'd like to list from the Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to use the mailings ribbon actually up here at the top. So I'm going to go to mailings and we're going to do start mail merge. And especially when you're getting started, I go through the step-by-step mail merge wizard. Once you get a handle for how mail merge works, then you can actually go ahead and use some of these items up here on the ribbon. But for the first few times you may want to go ahead and use this task pane over here. This is the MailMerge task pane that pops up. I'm going to change my view to draft so that I can see the email a little closer. And then I'm going to go back to the mailings ribbon. So we're going to work through, you can see this is a 6-step process over here in the MailMerge task pane. We're going to send email messages today, so I'm going to select email messages. And then I'll go to the next step down here at the bottom. So the next step is actually creating this document. So I've already created this document, and so I'm just going to go ahead and choose use this current document as my template. So we'll go to the next step, which is selecting recipients. And I'm going to do use an existing list. So I've already created the list of information in Excel that I'd like to use, so I'm going to choose browse. And I'll find that Excel document on my desktop here. So wherever yours is, mine is just called Mail Merge Example. So I'll go ahead and open that. And that's actually going to open up that Excel spreadsheet. And here's what I actually have in the spreadsheet. So I have 3 different sheets, but my information is stored here in sheet 1. So I'll select OK. And now it actually pulls up the information that was found in sheet 1. So you can see here from the data source that we're using, this Excel spreadsheet, here are the different column headers that we had, and this is the information that was found in that spreadsheet, so we can kind of verify that this is the right information. So I'll click OK. And then we move to the next step, which is writing our email message. From the task pane, we'll go over here to more items, and then I'll click on contact name, and you can either double click or I'm going to click insert. You'll see now that this contact name appears, and this gray and these sort of 2 less than greater than indicate that that's actually coming from the Excel data that I've accessed. So that's going to pull in the name. And I'm going to fill in a couple more items here. So I'd like to, instead of saying position, I'd like to actually write the position that I talked to this contact about. So now I'm going to go ahead and from the ribbon I can do insert merge field, and I'll go down to job title. Next I want to do the same thing for the company. So I'll go to insert merge field, and choose company. And then you can see I said I have the following skills that I think would be a real asset to you and to your company. So then I'd like to list the different skills that I have now. There are 4 different skills listed here in my Excel file. I may or may not have 4 skills, but I can actually list them individually and they will merge correctly. So I'm going to choose skill 1. And on the next line, I'll choose skill 2. And on the next line, I'll choose skill 3. So if I actually click on this button, then the whole window comes up. And if I use the arrow to pull it down, I can just select from here. So I'll choose skill 3. And finally, skill 4. Okay, so that's the email that I wanted to put together based on a couple of contacts that I met at a career fair on Friday, and I wanted to have a follow-up email for them. So now that I've inserted the information, I can go down and click Next to do Preview Your Email Messages. And so here's what that would look like. So you can see I have a couple grammatical errors here. Okay, but that's what this one looks like. Now I can actually cycle through these, and if I want to look at, so this is the first recipient, I can look at the second recipient. Once I'm happy with the email that I see, and you may want to make some adjustments, this is just an example, then I can go to the final step, which is complete the merge. And here's the place to be careful. This will actually send emails unless you've gone ahead and set that to work offline. So you want to make sure that you're setting that to work offline. So now I'm going to choose electronic mail. That's the type of merge that I'm doing. And I need to say who I'd like to send them to. So in this case, I have the email of the contact that I met in my Excel spreadsheet. And I need a subject for my email. So nice to meet you. And when I click OK, this is actually going to send the emails. Now when I click over here to my outbox, because I chose work offline down here in the corner, these are actually stuck in my outbox as opposed to going to my sent items. So now I can open up these emails if I want to, double check them to see what they look like. So one important thing, if you do open these in your outbox, then you actually need to make sure that you resend them. If I just close this, then it actually comes down here to date none. And if things are under date none, then they're not going to send out at all. So when I open this, I just want to make sure if everything looks great, then I'll choose send. So you can open, one or many of them to sort of see how they turn out. The final step will be when you are all set up to come down here to the corner and choose and change from work offline to work online. That'll actually send these emails out to the individuals that you've identified. Thanks for listening in. This was how to use the MailMerge functionality using Microsoft Word 2007 and Microsoft Office 2007. Thanks.